Hey, thanks for joining us here. Since we just finally put out part two of our Travel Well 2-part EP set, we thought it might be cool to go back to the beginning of this project and go through song by song in the mix and show you what's going on in each song and sort of pull them apart and see what's going on in there. I always like watching this kind of stuff on YouTube and like those classic albums, documentaries and stuff. So it might be fun to do this on a totally not classic album. All right, so here we go. So this is Any More from the first EP, and let's get into it. So we're working in Studio One. It was recorded in Pro Tools, but I mixed it in Studio One here in my studio. So here are the acoustics first, starting off the song. So there's stereo recording of myself playing an acoustic part, and then a stereo take of Danielle playing her acoustic part. Here's my part here. Oops. And it hard over here. And then Dee's part over here. So together, this is what you get. Now those acoustics, as you can see here, are both getting a bit of EQ from an SSL plugin, and then some compression from a LA2A here. Okay, like 5 dB of compression, but that's being split here, so it's not 100% compressed. It's like parallel compression where it's a lot's getting bypassed. So it's 50-50 sort of on both of those, which I think is a great acoustic sound for this tune. Let's check out the drums. Here's Matt. So you can hear on the drum bus there's some delay, so that's this Waves Abbey Road tape. There's without it. So it's fattening up the sound, making it a little bit punchier, but also giving that sort of a triplet almost delay kind of thing. Okay, as we move into the song here, it's the end of the first chorus. The next verse, the percussion comes in here. So throughout the whole song there's shaker, but then starting in this verse, the shaker's joined by this tambourine, but it's not played like a typical tambourine. It's held flat instead of on its side, and then tapped on top. You get this sort of bongo-ish sort of effect with the jingles as well. So here's the tambourine. Bring the kit in a little bit. You can hear the groove of those together. Maybe bring in some bass with it. Acoustic with it. So it's, as you can see, 2 tracks of that tambourine, 2 tracks of the shaker, so it's all done sort of in stereo. Here comes the guitar solo, which is here. We'll talk about these effects in a second with the vocal. So that's the solo, but then throughout the song there are 2 guitar parts that are sort of making up the song here. Here's one electric part, playing this melodic part. As you see, you got a tape on that, and then just some EQ, T-Rax EQ. And then this is the other track, sort of arpeggio thing, and together you get that. Okay. Just guitars, the acoustics. Now this song also features quite a bit of keyboards, which if you've ever seen us live or videos or whatever, you'll know that we actually don't have keyboard player. So any of the keyboards on our albums they're just still played by one of us. But I always really like the sort of vibe that they can contribute to a mix. So this song has 3 keyboard tracks. I'll just show you right now. There's a Rhodes electric piano, just playing downbeats on each chord change. This verse is a little bit busier. Maybe let's go back a little bit. Use those ones. Here that fits with the... Okay, so really simple, just playing those chord changes. Then as you heard a second ago, there's another keyboard, it's an organ, playing backbeats, which is not very loud in the mix normally. It's sort of just contributing to the reverb of the snare. It's sort of giving a tonality to the reverb on the snare drum. Once it comes in the next, here we go. So here it is on its own again. That first one kind of got chopped a bit. But if you have it, here's the drums, and then so it's just part of the ambience of the snare almost, but with a bit of a chord tonality to it. Then you got the Rhodes with it. Then the other part comes in a little bit later. I've called it Garth here in the session, and it's here it comes in. I love a band called The Band, and their keyboard player Garth Hudson is like the best keyboard player of all time. But this is sort of based on trying to get a similar sound to what he used on a song by the band called Whispering Pines. Just really melancholy, reedy, really wobbly kind of weird sound, and here it comes in here. It's sort of got the Strawberry Fields Forever type melody thing that I played on it, but the sound itself is more of a Garth Hudson thing. Let's have a listen to that.
Give up whiskey, give up wine. No, I'm not gonna drink.
So lots of just upper harmonic sort of content and movement and stuff. It's pretty buried in the mix, but to me it contributes a lot in the weird ambience of this song. We'll put the effects back in here, which so speaking of these effects, let's go back to the beginning and we'll talk about what these effects are doing. So we've got, bring everything up a little bit. Start with the what's called mon echo here, but it's a mono delay coming from this mono Abbey Road tape. Okay, so that's obviously got a ton of cut from the high and low pass filters here, and quite a long pre-delay before it kicks in. So that's we're getting the vocals here, one channel of the stereo guitar solo track. I think that's it. So quite a long, funky, dark, lo-fi kind of echo. And then there's a stereo, faster, more fluttery, a stereo Abbey Road So it's the same tape delay all the time, just doing different speeds and different textures and stuff. So that's that one, and then here's that mixed in without any dry. Sounds crazy.
I don't wanna drink anymore.
Okay. Now let's go back to the top here just so you can hear this first vocal. So here's the intro, acoustic guitars, and Chelsea starts singing. She's got a beautiful voice, and it's a beautiful vocal performance on this song. So the idea was just to sort of, this stuff's pretty quiet in the mix, but just to give a nice cushion of sort of ambience. This is quite a melancholy song, as I said before, so I wanted these effects to sort of add to just a weird, haunting atmosphere where it's almost, it's weird. It's like almost comforting, even though it's like disparaging sounding. So there's also this plate reverb coming from the H reverb. It's being compressed on the way in and then hitting this stereo plate reverb. You can hear the drums are coming through that as well. You hear how long the pre-delay is on this with the snare. Get rid of those for now. So that's that one. Then there's a modulated reverb here, which is pretty crazy. It's pitched up an octave here, and then there's a bit of chorus on it, and then the delay, that's almost more of a pre-delay kind of a thing, and then just this cheesy PreSonus reverb for the actual sound. Because it wasn't so much about the reverb as much as just this eerie high-end effect. So you get this weird, swirly, freaky Alvin and the Chipmunks top end thing. And the solo is getting that as well, which is not this next time around, I guess. So you've got this regular reverb. Here's the regular plate reverb with the modulated reverb on top. The fluttery stereo delay. And then that mono echo. So there's quite a lot of effects. The way I've got this set up to show you this video, it's all the tracks. The tracks you can see here on a lot of them. This pipeline, that's a plugin that Studio One uses to send signal to outboard gear. So that's how I'm getting it through the board. So most of this stuff is just bussed together, like the drum bus comes through here, the percussion bus comes through here, vocal bus comes through here, the guitars, acoustics, and the keys. But the effects are not being sent through here. So the effects are just going direct to the output bus. So that's why with all this down, you can still hear the effects that prominently. So it's not a fair representation of how loud they really are in the mix, but they are in the mix. They're all there, varying degrees.
Used to live before.
Let's check out some of these harmonies. So the first, here's the first verse, Chelsea singing solo. I'll bring in some acoustic guitar, maybe some keyboards, maybe some of that percussion when that comes in. Let's see how that sounds. So we should just have vocal, acoustic, the keyboards when they come in, and then that percussion.
Hear your voice inside my head. So
I got the drums muted so that they don't get into that reverb too much. Here we go.
Anymore.
Okay, then here comes my harmony.
I don't wanna drive anymore.
Pretty hot in the mix. Well, right now anyway.
Hear your song play in my car. Past some place we used to go.
Some funny little out-of-time pocket things, but
See
It's all part of the groove, I guess. You don't want it too perfect. It'll sound like a machine or something instead of people. This 3-part harmony. This is Chelsea's vocal, my vocal, and Danielle's vocal. So Danielle's singing the top part. Obviously, I'm singing the bottom part, and Chelsea's in the middle. So right now it's just the two of us, as you can see. And Danielle will come in here in a sec on the tag.
Used to live before and be someone who isn't gonna love you anymore.
And then the other choruses, she's singing the whole time with us.
I don't wanna drink anymore.
Getting Garth up there.
Walk into the liquor store.
So that's what's going on in this song. You got the drums, percussion. Bring that shaker back up a little bit. The bass, which is a great bass line. Vocals. Electric guitars. Acoustic guitars.
No more fighting, no more feeling. Trying to reason with myself. Another night, another demon. Another bottle off the shelf. Forget the life that you and I
Keyboards.
used to live before. And be someone.
This should be the solo. See if you can hear that high echo on the.
Someone who isn't gonna love you anymore. Be someone who isn't gonna love you anymore. Love you
Fade out on the Garth thing. So there you go. That's what's going on in Anymore. Hope you liked it. We'll continue the series with the rest of the songs. So there'll be 12 of these in total. I don't know why I just saved that. Anyway, old habits die hard. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.